Hey folks, Eric Carlson here again. I'm running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District of Illinois. Uh, Tonight I'm going to go over something a little different. This isn't so much based on issues that people are having right now, but it is an issue that we face in this country, and that's leadership or lack thereof in Congress. So I wanted to just go over a few things, so people can get an idea of where I stand, where I'm coming from on this. My friends all know this. My family all know this. Most of my friends are veterans. A lot of them in special operations units. They get this. But for a lot of people out there, unfortunately, there's become such a divide of families out there. The huge percentage. There's only 8% of this country is veterans. Um, so that means the number of families out there that actually had someone serve has gotten smaller over time. So a lot of people don't understand what we mean when we talk about leadership. And that's what I want to talk about now. I want to show you something, and this probably means more to me for my time in service than anything else. I mean, I've got, my Ranger tab and other stuff. And Ranger tab is the military's hardest leadership course. I'm bringing this stuff up just so you guys can compare and contrast my leadership abilities compared to someone who is running in the 1st Congressional District. Right now, there's so many people on the Democrat side that you don't know who the candidate's going to be. So you can't narrow it down, but just take a look at them. As far as I know right now, I'm the only veteran. That could have changed today, could have changed, but last I looked, I was the only veteran in this. But I'd like to show you something. Now, this probably looks just a little piece of green cloth felt. It goes on our epaulet, so it goes. You wear it on your shoulder on your dress uniform. It goes on there, and your distinguished unit insignia. So the thing that you see here on the flag uh, and tattooed on my arm, that goes on here. And this little piece of cloth, this little piece of green cloth, signifies that you hold a leadership position in a Ranger battalion. And that to me meant more than anything else. Was being a leader. Now I wasn't high up. I was a low level leader, but I led some of the best men in the world, and I was led by the best men in the world. Um, that experience, the men that I served under, and the guys that I got to see, and how guys did stuff. I mean, on my best day, I was a fair to middle in Ranger. On my best day, there's guys that I served with that are literally legends. That you just tip your hat to, and just hope you can not embarrass the unit in their eyes. When you go somewhere. But this little thing here means a lot to me, and the leadership that I'm talking about is you see these people that are in Congress now, and you're starting to get a few more veterans in there, which is a good thing. Ideally, if this country really wanted to get back on track, you would elect nothing but veterans, and you would get stuff done. So I don't give it if they got a D or an R or anything else after their name. You elect veterans, veterans will go there and get stuff done. Toot sweet. Um, and they'll argue, they'll fight, but it'll be over quick, and they'll agree on something that works. And that's something this country has lost. You got a bunch of lawyers in there. I believe the count is 175 lawyers in the House, even more in the Senate. That's the problem there, folks. Um, that's a profession that if somebody walks in your office with a big enough check, you will basically whore yourself out to whoever comes in with money. You know, morals be damned. These are the people, 40% of them, making up the body that governs your life. So just think about that when you make a decision. I know there's some attorneys running on the Democrat side. So think about this, though. Leadership, the important things about leadership, and this is something that if you've never been tested in a very hard place, it's basically like, they tell you, test your mettle, METTLE. When you test somebody's mettle in the military, it's to see what you can do. Ranger School pushes you to your limit physically, mentally, emotionally, and it's there to see if you can still function, if you can still lead when everything has gone to shit around you. You haven't eaten, you haven't slept, none of your guys have. People are falling asleep, nodding, falling off mountains, getting injured. Um, if you can function in that, and you know your limits, you will find your limits in Ranger School. I promise you, they will push you to your limits, and you will know where you stand. You will be humbled when you come out of there, but you will know, and that is the important part. Knowing how far you can push something, or how far people can be pushed, because you know your own limits. If you don't know yourself, which most of the people in Washington have never been pushed, have never had their limits pushed, and you can tell, have never been challenged, have never had anyone get in their face about something and them have to actually fight to put up to, I mean, physically fight, like grown up. You know, somebody said, no, this isn't the way it is. You said it is, and you come to blows about it. If you've never had something like that that pushes you to see if you're actually willing to defend what you say. Most of these Democrats, you look at people like Adam Schiff or Jerry Nadler, these guys wouldn't defend anything. These are mouthpieces. And when the Democrats put these people up there, it weakens the country. The infighting and all this stuff you see, the divisiveness, that's all coming from the left. That's all coming from the left. If you see anything come from the right, it's them trying to defend and counter, which they shouldn't. They should ignore. You don't talk to idiots. These people have proven themselves time and time again to be absolute fools and morons on the left. Their shit does not work. No policies that they have work, and that's provable. Knowing yourself leads to you knowing your weaknesses. This is when you go to Congress, you want to work with people that offset your weaknesses. So this is where you bring people on your staff that are going to be able to do stuff that you might be a weak spot or a blind spot for you. And that's where you pick up people, from all backgrounds to come in there, especially when you're dealing with a district like the 1st District that is so spread out, so diverse, so many different priorities, because the way they drew this map is just idiotic. You have to have people that are going to be on top of that. And I never hear Democrats with a plan for that. They'll give you these plays, and just listen to them when they start making their speeches, folks. We're going to get this for you, and we're going to get your money, and we're going to get your reparations. And well, that's divisive for half of your district right there. They don't want to hear that. You're just not going to listen to them, huh? There's just too much, folks. These people have never been pushed. They don't know themselves. They don't know their weaknesses, so they don't know who they have to come in, bring in. They all think they've got it figured out. They all think, oh, it doesn't matter. We just get in there. The vote, the city vote will go our way, no problem, and we'll keep the seat, just like Bobby Rush did for 30 years, and now they're bringing another one of Jesse Jackson's sons in. The last one, I believe he was indicted when he was in Congress for some chicanery going on there when he was a congressman. So now we've got the next Jackson coming in to keep his father in there, so he can keep his graft going. If you don't know about Jesse Jackson, most people do. Most of you know his name. He is a divisive son of a bitch. To quote Joe Biden, paraphrase Joe Biden, this is not what you need, and this is not going to help the black people of the city of Chicago. Having another Jackson come in there who just wants the seat for 30 years so he can sit there and his family can leech off this country just like they've done since the 1960s. Being loud is not leadership. When you see these people, Nancy Pelosi, raise their hand and start shaking their fists and everything, that's not leadership. Spouting bullshit solutions is not leadership. So these people, when they come out, and this goes to all the government bureaucrats like Fauci and everything, these people come out there and they think that they are expected because they put themselves on such a high pedestal that they think that they have to come out and say something because everyone's looking at them. Rather than coming out and just saying, hey, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out too. Everybody stay home or whatever until we get a better... But they come out with this stupid shit and then it gets so ingrained and they get so far behind this stuff they can't go back on it. You don't need that. You don't need people who just start spouting solutions. If somebody comes up with an instant solution for something like COVID or something like that, they're 99% chance they're full of shit. Leadership skills can be taught. Natural leadership cannot. And I'll tell you this, you can go to schools, you can take classes, you can do online stuff, you can go to seminars, you can go to a weekend camp with your business, and they're going to tell you, we're going to teach you leadership skills. Yeah, well, they tell you how it is in the book, but actually for an individual to transfer that, the amount of people that are actually able to do that and actually lead and keep their head when shit is going terrible all around them, very few. And you see it. You see when people melt down. This is why Ranger School has about a 30% graduation rate over the years. And these are the best, finest, hardest young men, West Point graduates and everything. They don't make it through because it tests people. And the people you have in Congress right now, the vast majority of them have not been tested. These are not the people that you want leading this country. There is absolutely no common sense because there's that arrogance of never having been knocked down 27 or 30 pegs, not just one or two. A little humble pie for the people up there. So just wanted to speak about that, and I want you to think as you look at these candidates coming up and listen to the things they say. They're going to come out there and they're going to give you these general, broad, we're going to do this and, we're going to fix this. They don't have a plan. If you go on YouTube and look at all my videos, I will debate anyone, anytime, anywhere on any subject. And I will absolutely destroy you. Off the top of my head, no notes. We just walk out on a stage in front of the people and we take their questions. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. That's the gauntlet. So I want you to look at these candidates, especially this is for the Democrat voters that are going to vote in the primary here. Like I said, you've got at least 12 Democrat candidates right now. Start taking a look at the Republicans. Look at the Republican side. Right now you've got 3 people on the Republican side. All 3 conservatives. Just take a look. Take a look. See if what we're not saying isn't logical. Doesn't make sense to you. There's no one there that should be worried about voting Republican for being set out. When you go in that booth, nobody can tell you what to do. You do what you do, and that's your own business. So I'm hoping the people in this district, the 1st district, will really see what needs to be done this time and start putting Illinois back on the right foot. Because if you elect one of these Chicago Democrats, 3/4 of this district, land-wise, is not going to be represented at all. Half the population is not going to be represented. You're never going to see your congressman, just like you never saw Bobby Rush. So I'm giving myself as an alternative, kind of a sacrificial lamb here, because, like I said, you're not going to get the really good people, the doctors and the community leaders to come and do this because they don't want to be dragged through the mud. So taking a grenade for the team for right now. See if I can make any headway. Again, my name is Eric Carlson. I'm running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District of Illinois, and I hope for your support. Thanks.